business partner for one of our largest business units here at Fisher & Paykel. So I recruit mainly for the product development business unit, which is where the teams design all of our beautiful products, which you're going to hear about today. So I've got some representatives from these teams with us on the call, and you'll hear from them as we go through our presentation. So thank you very much for your time. So we're a company with obviously long historical roots in New Zealand, and we have a really strong purpose, which is at the heart of everything that we do. So there's lots of information on our careers website, which you can read through. So I'm just going to go through these slides relatively quickly, but hopefully they will give you a sense of what we stand for and how we behave and operate in our work. So this is our purpose. We are the world's most human-centered appliances brand, and that means different things to different people, but for us it means that when we are designing our products, you know, we are thinking about the life that our consumers want to live. So that's our aspiration, and we truly believe this and live it as we go about our work. And we design with people in mind in the life lived around our product. And we seek to create those moments of delight together in the heart of the home, sustainably enhancing the quality of people's lives now and for future generations. So these are the things that we stand for, and you'll see lots of narrative and storytelling on our careers website and our consumer-facing website, actually, in terms of how we present our products to the world. We are driven by a set of values in terms of how we behave with each other and as individuals. And these are our values here on the screen. So they're at the heart of everything that we do, and they speak to our culture and they guide us as we go through our work. In the application, if you decide, and I hope you will, decide to make an application for a graduate or internship, you'll be asked to think about our values and answer some questions about what they might mean for you and how you might demonstrate those values. So that will be part of the application process, and we're really keen to hear what these values might mean for you. I won't go through them in too much detail, but you can see that curiosity and innovation are sort of my favorite ones, and the other one that's really top of mind at the moment is sustainably minded. So yeah, there's lots of interesting work happening in the area of sustainability. So if that's an interest for you, we can offer lots of opportunities in that space. We're very mindful as a global company that we have to be designing our products for a changing world. We know that the world is changing, and these are some of the things that we think about as we design our products. And you can find out more about these trends and how they guide us, again, through our careers content. The other thing to talk about is our design pillars. So these are the things that will guide our engineers and designers as they are designing our beautiful products. I won't go through them in too much detail, but you can see that we're really seeking for that perfection, that beauty, that robustness, that respect for the planet, and really trying to enhance everybody's lives. And we truly believe that we need great people to deliver those results, which is where you come in. So hopefully you know that our application process for our graduate and internship opportunities is underway right now. We're live, and there's a lot of information. We're going to be pushing some more out through social media in the next week or so, but applications are open now. You can apply on our careers site, the link's there at the top of the screen. We've streamlined the process to be quite a straightforward online application process. So you'll click on a link once you choose whether you are a potential graduate or a potential intern. We're looking for graduate applicants in mechanical engineering, food, consumer and textile sciences, and also in the electronics space. And then there are summer internships across all of those fields as well. So have a look, decide which one feels like you're most suited to. You'll be asked to fill in your personal details, upload a CV and your academic transcript. And then there's a little questionnaire to answer. As I mentioned, we want to understand some work that you might have done either at university or in your personal life, and how that might sort of relate to the values that we live by. So quite a short little questionnaire, but we're really enjoying seeing some of the applications coming through and reading through those. So applications close 31 May. We'll then go into the selection phase, and we will decide you know, who might be a great fit for us, and we'll be looking at those applications and inviting long-listed applicants to complete a video interview. Again, this will be a short questionnaire where you get to speak to camera and tell us a little bit more about yourself and why you're interested in Fisher & Paykel and why you've chosen this course of study. Then we will review those and invite shortlisted applicants to attend an assessment centre face-to-face, probably, unless the world conspires against us. We'll get you into some assessment centres in either Auckland or Dunedin later in June. And that'll be quite a fun day where we get you together to work as a group and get you to do some individual things as well. We do reference checks. Those will be done using an online tool, which is relatively slick and painless from your perspective. And then we're aiming to get offers out to our preferred students and graduates by the end of July. So we appreciate that you might have a choice to make. So we want to, you know, work as quickly as we can to ensure that you get our offer in a really efficient way. So that's the timeline and the process, and we'll be looking for our interns to start mid-November, grads start mid-January next year. So that's enough from me. You don't probably want to hear too much more about that, and you'll have my contact details if you have any questions. But let's hear from some of our teams who can tell you a little bit more about the work that they enjoy doing, hopefully. So I'll hand over to the dishwashing teams. You want to introduce yourselves?
Hello, my name is Richard, and I've got with me Matt. We're both working in dishwashing, and I guess dishwashing is broken down into 4 functions: wash systems, structures, customer interface, and product evaluation. If you go to the next slide, please.
Hey, I'm Matt. I work as a part of the dishwashing wash systems team, and as a part of the dishwashing wash systems team, we focus on the dynamic side of the dish drawer mostly, and a few things we deal with is the actual parts that pump water, the heating system, and the filtration system. As you already know, the pumping system's used to pump water and clean the dishes, and the heating system supports it with for things like better cleaning and sanitizing the dishes, and the filtration system cleans out whatever was left out. The other side of other part of what we do is a lot of problem solving. You can see an example of a map below, which shows well, that's rather more complex one than we do, but that's the kind of things tools we use to kind of solve problems. The other side of it is once we've designed this, we need to actually have them run on their own, and the right side top kind of shows you some algorithms for the products to actually do all these things on their own. And one of the other things around sensing and recovery logic is kind of an automated sensing system, which helps the product to recover. There are in the field, there are things that can go wrong or stop the product, but we try to help the product understand things to recover from these issues as well. The other side of it is that those are the tools we use currently as a part of trying to get these problems and developing part of the thing. But then the other side of it is once we've done this, we need to understand how well the product performs, and that's where the next slide comes in. So once all that's developed, we have the product evaluation team who simulate a real world kind of soil scenario. Soil's kind of the stuff that's we want to wash off, and there are standards set in place for different sorts of soils, different markets, and our product evaluation team kind of puts those soils onto these dishes, and they evaluate how well our products can wash and dry these things.
Yeah, so the compliance side would be real energy and water efficiency, and then they do specific customer real use cycles just for our own understanding and how well the product actually performs for the customer. Yeah, so we could move on to the next slide. So I'm in the dishwashing structures team. We do a lot of the simple static parts. We've got the chassis and the tub, and a lot of what we're doing is trying to make sure the product is rigid and long lasting, as well as with the enclosures for electronic components, making sure they meet compliance and they're flame resistant. I guess our day-to-day is usually a bit of office work with project planning and CAD design, verification, a little bit of workshop work as well. So it's quite changing throughout the different stages of the project, and it's quite a diverse range of work we get to do. Next slide, please. The last system is the customer interface team, and they do a lot of the UI and the touch points that the customer actually uses, which is actually very complex. They get to work closely with the industrial design team and with vendors trying to get precision visual finishes as well as tactile feel. And they also have the water softening dispenser and dry system, so it's not just the interface, but they've got quite a bit of work in their team as well. Cool, and that's probably it from the dishwashing side of things. Cool, thank you.
Thank you, team. So now let's hear from the cooking team.
Yeah, thanks, Joanna. Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Challenger. I've been part of the cooking team since 2014 when I was a summer intern. Following that summer, I came back as a grad the next year, and I've been working for Fisher & Paykel Appliances ever since, with a small break in the middle for a bit of an OE. So you can see what we've got on the screen here at the moment. It's sort of a bit of an overview of sort of the cooking appliances that we work on and some of the other stuff we do. In the top left, you can see a CAD model of our latest built-in oven, as well as some analysis we did on the cooling system for that product. In the top right, you can see another bit of analysis, but performed on the heat flow and the air inside the cavity, which is obviously very critical for figuring out how our products perform in terms of the actual cooking function, and how we can actually improve that and make the experience even better for our customers. Along the bottom left here, you can see some other marketing images of some of our latest products as well. We've got some ranges here, which I think are really nice, as well as induction cooktops and, of course, ventilation systems. A couple of other functions which I didn't put in these slides would be the outdoor cooking as well, and of course product evaluation, which is really key to making sure that appliances meet those customer interests and that we really do cook at that really high level which we're trying to reach. Similarly to dishwashing, we're split up into functional teams within cooking. You can see that we've got structures, doors, custom interfaces, cavity cooking, ventilation, and of course the electronics team. The way a typical project would work would be that team members would get cherry picked from each functional team and then put together into that project team, where they bring the expertise from each team into the project. On this slide here, we've gone for a bit more of a collage of sort of all the action shots you can sort of see how we work here. In the top left, you can see an example of our outdoor DCS grill. We're doing a test on the infrared burner on that one. In the middle, on the top there, you can see my teammate Tiago. He's posing very nicely for an action shot there. He's doing some heat rise testing out in the workshop on one of our compact built-in ovens. Moving along to the right-hand side here, you can see a bit more about the facilities that we have available. Top right is our main workshop area where people can really get in there and get their hands dirty, take products apart, sort of have a bit of a play around with some different solutions, try and do some problem solving, setting up testing and things. That's really sort of a general use space. But very handy to have. In the bottom right and the middle right there, you can see more of our prototyping workshop where we have some more of that sort of big industrial gear. And this is one of my favorite parts of Fisher & Paykel. They always encourage you to sort of get out there and use that equipment, even if it's on sort of like home projects, which aren't relevant to the company. They really want everyone to have that experience on that equipment so that when you come to use it for a Fisher & Paykel project, you've got more of that experience, you're more comfortable with it, you know how to use it safely, for example. And then in the bottom left here, you can see our social kitchen area. This is sort of our lunchroom, I guess. It's a really good space for sort of having lunch together or Friday beers, or if we're doing a product launch, we might have an event in there. We also keep that kitchen stocked up with our latest cooking appliances. And similarly to the workshop gear, they encourage us to get into the kitchen and cook lunch and play around and try out new recipes on all the appliances, because then it kind of comes back to that sort of human-centered brand that Joanna was touching on, how if you cook with the appliance, you know what you might like as a customer, and you can sort of apply that into your day-to-day work. And finally, in the middle bottom there, we've got a delicious cake that someone made for one of our cake clubs for Friday morning tea. That was really nice. But Vaskin with that, top notch. We don't have much time, but that's sort of an overview of cooking and sort of what we do and sort of a bit of an overview. So I'll pass it back to Joanna.
Thank you, Matt. Lovely. Nice call out of the kitchen. And I think we had a couple of roast chickens come out of the kitchen the other day with an email around the office asking for hungry people to come together. So that's always good. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a huge bonus of having the cooking product development, product evaluation team on site as well. Tons of free food. It's great.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So let's hear from refrigeration. Hi, Helen.
Hi. Just on the next slide, please.
Sorry.
Cool. Okay, so I'm Helen. I'm based up in Auckland in the refrigeration team. I work in the storage systems team, and we also work alongside structures product evaluation, where they test and assess the product performance. We also have a user interface, which is the lighting and the touch points and harnesses. We've got systems, which is integrated, which consists of basically products that are flush against the cabinetry. We've also got systems with ice and water and packaging and installation. So I was just going to talk briefly around what I work in. So it's like the storage systems team. So in the slides you see there, we work on the door shelves, on the dairy shelf, any kind of touch points that the product interacts with. I really love these products. And when I joined the team 3 years ago, we were actually working on 3 different products at the same time. So I had a team of 8 people. So there was lots of different parts coming through at all different stages of the design process. So we also have the bins, the bins where the vegetables go in, and humidity control lids as well. And on the left, you see this amazing wine fridge, which we actually have in the offices as well. And it has, we started using wood for the first time ever. So that was kind of a new development for our team. So previously we kind of work with different types of materials such as plastics, ABS, GPPS, aluminium coated steels or glass. And now we've started looking at wood as well. So we work very closely with all these different teams, and because we work with I suppose a lot of tooling, we work closely with the simultaneous team to get like tools made up, and they're manufactured over in China or different parts of the world. We collaborate with them quite a bit just to make sure that the parts are within spec. We also work with the reliability team to make sure that the testing is done well. We've got compliance and the industrial designers that come up with the actual overall design and the concept of what we're trying to work through. So I think what really excites me is just the fact that we work through quite a different range of products at the same time. So it's no days the same. We work from the very, very early stages of design concept of like what we think we want to create, and then we kind of focus on, we make up some 3D prototypes, we test them, we assess them, and we narrow it down to a design that we want to work on. And this also we need to collaborate with the rest of the team as well to make sure everything fits in well together. So those 3 slides that you've seen there are all made in the Thailand factory. So I've worked on all of these 3 products since I've joined the team, or 4 products. This last product is actually made in Hire over in China. So we also work with the China department over there, or the Hire department over there. And we make a few modifications to meet our industrial design needs or our visual brand languages. So another part that I'm involved in as a function leader is the development and growth of my team, which is something I'm really passionate about, because I like to see the team's strengths and just kind of everybody's individual. So if somebody might want to focus on their CAD experience or FEA or problem solving, and I give them that opportunity. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they work just within my team. I'll see if there's opportunities outside of the team that they might be able to support and kind of expand their knowledge as well. So I really enjoy doing that. So and I suppose overall what I really enjoy is the collaboration and support across all the different teams. It is all about kind of discussions, integration events, and getting to that point of agreement or alignment. And I suppose some of my friends have said that they're surprised just to see how passionate I am about the products that we made. And I think it's because of, I'm really proud of what we do as a team and as a company. So if you've got any questions at the end, let me know. Cool.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you. And now we're going to hear from Ben, sort of representing the electronics teams, which we have in both the Auckland and Dunedin sites. You will have seen in the chat that our refrigeration and laundry teams largely based in the Auckland site, and down here in Dunedin we have cooking and dishwashing. But for electronics we have them across both sites, so opportunities in both. Let's hear from Ben.
Hey, thank you, Jo. Yeah, and as Jo pointed out, there's opportunities in software engineering and hardware engineering as well. Hey, I just want to talk to you about, if you're a software engineer, why you should build a career at Fisher & Paykel, why you should work with us. The first point I'd like to raise is that we have a dual track career path at Fisher & Paykel. So there is both technical leadership and people leadership. And because of the size of the organization, there are many opportunities to step up into higher roles. The other thing as a graduate is that you'll get lots of mentoring and coaching from skilled developers as you do the work and through the code review process that everything has to go through to go to production. In addition to that, you have quarterly development sessions with your functional leader, where we talk through your career plan and the types of work that we could use to facilitate that career plan. At Fisher & Paykel, we follow the agile development process to ensure consistent and predictable outcomes from our projects. And we support this by having dedicated product owners, people acting as Scrum Masters, and a dedicated test team to ensure the quality of our team's work. We use industry standard tools at Fisher & Paykel, so we use Jira for planning, we use Bitbucket and Git for code review and source code control. We use Azure DevOps for continuous integration and PC-Lint for static analysis. In addition to that, we use Seedling for our unit test framework. At Fisher & Paykel, you get to work with embedded C to interface with sensors and actuators. And to render our GUIs, we use Qt for our premium GUIs and TouchGFX for our mid-spec products. We're also doing a lot of work developing on the Android platform for our next generation of products. It's worth pointing out that Fisher & Paykel is part of a much larger organization, the Hire Group, and we have experts on hand in machine learning, image processing, and software tests that we can tap to help us implement our projects. And in terms of continuous learning, we offer in-house training on Fisher & Paykel processes and technologies. We have LinkedIn learning accounts for external learning, and there is a process in place to support further tertiary study should you and your manager choose to follow that path. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. I'm glad you mentioned the ongoing learning, because we have a dedicated coordinator for ongoing learning within our business unit, and it is one of the huge positives of joining a company like Fisher & Paykel. We have some really good resources to support you at an early stage in your career. So I think you could spend a lot of time learning and not too much time doing if you took up every opportunity. So yeah, so that's the end of our sort of prepared presentation, but we'd love to sort of open the floor as it is to take your questions. Any questions?
Okay. Oh, Michael, you go.
I just had a really quick one. You said the applications close end of this month, and I guess we'll hear results after that.
That's right. Yeah. So applications are open now. We are screening them as they come in, because we do want to kind of keep the momentum up. So at the very latest, you would expect to hear back from us the week following the 31st of May, so that first week of June. Yeah, but don't wait. Don't wait until the 31st. We'd love your application. I already
submitted one, and it said we aim to be in touch with everyone within a week or so, but I guess that's referring to the end of the period.
Okay. Fantastic. Yep. Thank you.
I just have a quick question as well. So I'm an industrial design graduate. Obviously, you don't have like a specific position for industrial designers. Would you say the mechanical engineering would be the best way to go in terms of like which grad role to look at?
Hi, I can jump in. My name's Zoe, and I am a People and Capability Business Partner that supports PD. So, Sophie, we actually have some industrial designers that do work within our engineering teams. We've got our teams that they've touched on both within dishwashing and within cooking, our customer interfaces teams. There are people who've got industrial design qualifications that have worked or do work. And we also have lots of really good examples of people that have worked within industrial design and have then transferred into our product development business unit. So would encourage you to put forward your application, and we will also flag to the industrial design team as well any pure industrial design qualification applicants.
Cool, thank you.
Just as another point, if I may, I actually graduated industrial product design at the end of last year. And I'm, there's plenty of opportunities for industrial design students to be put into Fisher & Paykel. I personally am actually in the surface cooking team. So it's surprising how, even though it doesn't seem like it's, there's a lot of mathematics and a lot of things, but also at the same time, there's actually a lot of opportunity for you to also be involved in this. It's actually quite a bit of fun. There's quite a lot of design, and there's quite a lot of people, as the company being a human-centered design company.
Thanks, William. Anyone else?
I just had a question. What are your grads doing in 5 years? Are they still within the company or are they going to somewhere else?
Probably a bit of a mix.
Our CEO is a previous grad. Our executive vice president of product development is a previous grad. And we've got lots of really fantastic examples of people that have come in as graduates and are now part of senior leadership teams across the business and globally. So not just here in New Zealand, because we are a global company, we have got entities set up in North America, in the UK, all around the world. We've got a lot of grads who come in and progress through our career model. We've got lots of examples of grads that have come in. Matt talked to it, went on an OE, and then they've come back into our business as well.
Sweet, thank you.
Yeah, so maybe I could just add a little bit to that as well. I was a grad probably about 5 years ago, so I think I'm sort of exactly what you're talking about. I think Fish and Paykel was really good for me because it allowed me to go overseas, and it sort of prepared me for that work to be able to land a good job over there and keep learning and keep growing. And then when I decided to come back to New Zealand, Fish and Paykel seemed like another great step to take. I've now moved into more of the advanced product development stage. I'm probably more senior in our team now, taking on a lot of leadership roles, working a lot with our factory in Thailand and things like that. So yeah, I think it's a great place for grads, and I think they set you up as well. Even if you only stay for 5 years or less than that, I think they set you up as well for moving around or moving on to other companies or other countries. So yeah, I've had a great experience with that.
Yeah, and I'll just add to that as well. I myself started as a graduate in the Auckland office and moved down to Dunedin about 3 or 4 years ago. One of my friends, Colin, as well, was a graduate in Auckland, and he's actually moved to live at the Thailand factory. He's been there for about 2 years now. So you've definitely got opportunities to move around and just find what works for you here. There's lots to do in the company. Yeah, good opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
I started as a grad as well. It's been 5 years, and it has been a great opportunity. Especially, one of the good things is the culture here, where you can just go around, talk to people, and ask for support. And wherever you go, people are really happy to help you out through that process of learning. So that's been a really good thing.
Thanks. Any other sort of recent grads want to share their experience? No, it's okay. Any final questions? I know we're sort of run ahead of time, but
So I'm doing mechatronics, and I've applied for the electrical software engineering one. I considered also putting in an application for the mechanical, but thought it's probably redundant to do both.
yeah, that's a good point, actually, Michael. When we're looking at the applications coming through, we are certainly coming back and asking, did you specifically want to be considered for only one sort of opportunity, or are you open? So, so you are happy to be considered for anything? We'll work through that with you. Yeah.
I did internship over the summer and was doing software development, but would like to do something more hands-on.
Sure.
So I enjoyed software as well.
Right. Great. Okay, well, Sahar, is there anything else we need to do? Do we need to?
No, thank you very much. That was really good information, and I think Zoe has put on the chat the links available if you'd like to apply. So please go ahead and check that out. Thank you all for giving us your time and your expertise and sharing your journey at Fisher and Paykel with our students and grads. Really, really insightful, really valuable, and a big thank you. Kia ora. We can all go away and enjoy afternoon now. And again, like I said, just click on the link on the chat if you want to get that application through.
Thank you. I'll just put my email in the chat too.
Awesome.
Anybody is welcome to contact me directly. If you've got any questions or you haven't heard from us and you think you should have, please don't hesitate to be in touch. Thank you, everyone.
Kia ora. Thank you.